Hey everyone, today we're going to go over how to structure data in a spreadsheet. So, this is when we want to use this information, specifically if we want to use it in charts. So, pretty much tables, that's what a spreadsheet is. We've talked about column and rows before, but we're going to go over some just like best practices to make sure you fuck up a little bit less when putting stuff together. So, first point I want to make is keeping format the same. We haven't really gone over format, but what we don't want is, let's just say we're over here, some numbers, right? Let's see if we can go to format over here, automatic. This is, I'm pretty sure, is just number right now, but sometimes this will actually be, I don't know, a percent, right? And you're just like, okay, this one's a percent, and this one's a goddamn plain text, and this will be, I don't know, dude, another one, scientific notation. Obviously, this is a wild amount, but sometimes percentage is pretty normal. Sometimes you have like it says 90%, and then the other one will just be 90. And as you can see, 90% is actually 90,000. That's what it like translates to. So you can really fuck up pretty quick with having the formatting in the wrong spot, especially with numbers. So easy thing to do is if you've got the right formatting, you can just like copy it and then go Command Alt V, and it will just paste the format of whatever you had before. You can see it did the color as well. We can just, that's okay. We'll move on. But it does it automatically a lot of the time with the spreadsheet, but you just gotta keep an eye on it. Next thing, data validation is your best friend. Okay? So having data validation means you're picking from the exact same thing every time. We've did that before. This is a bad example. I did use data validation to actually make this spreadsheet, but it didn't carry across when I copied it. So let's just say over here, this is actually only 4 different things: general preparatory exercises, special development exercises, specific preparatory exercises, and competition exercises. So that's 4 variables. But to make sure they're the exact same every time, this I would actually put this, if I was to do more, I would just make them all drop downs. So now they are always going to be the exact same thing, spelt the exact same way. Good. Do not merge cells is the next one. Right here, if you merge this cell, it doesn't read this very well, especially the charts, because it's like, what is H3 now? Well, it's sort of G3. So you don't really want that, especially when people just do a merge right across and cut things in half. It won't be able to read that shit. So don't do it. Spreadsheets. Put this somewhere safe. If you're collecting all the data throughout the program, do not try and piece it all together in the same spot. Just have a page, call it data, and put all this table just in there. You get pretty much unlimited of these little tabs down the bottom, right? You can have as many as you want. Oh, and you're like, oh, I don't want people to see them. You can hide them. So you just make a tab for every table you want, put it on there, name it, hide it. You know what to refer to it, but you also don't fuck with it. You don't have data running into each other and things cutting things off. Put it somewhere safe. Next thing, always use headers. So when you create a chart, it'll actually acknowledge the headers and use them that way. So it will be like, hey, do you want the top row to be headers? Most of the time it's a yes. But also just having well-named headers makes tables heaps easier to understand. Okay? Next one. Why do you actually want to use this data? So if you're putting data together to create a chart, think, what data do I actually want? What data do I actually need? And it's a lot easier to go from there, because if you start with the end in mind of what data you want, you don't have to have this giant table. Sometimes you only need 3 columns, and you can just put it together that way. Instead of having to pick and choose data, you just have it all in the one table, select it, put it into a fucking chart. Last one, quantifiable where you can. So if you can, use numbers or use drop downs or have specific things. So most of these, obviously because there's names, that's different, and notes is a bit different, but most of these are somewhat quantifiable because they're like determined points. Okay? If it's a number or it's like you can put it in a table and you can reference it, you're going to have a lot better time when putting your table together. So just numbers and not full sentences, a word that you can refer to, that you know what it is. Okay? Having that sort of stuff, that's how you structure a table. Obviously, we've gone over alternating colors before and stuff like that. And so if you want it to look pretty, format, wrap, keep all of them in the cell, format, while it's all done, alternating color, everything, change the color of the header. Fuck, we're killing it. Alright? Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.